Alright everybody, welcome back to another Hunt Showdown tier list video. After the last one where we did the traits, we pissed off a decent amount of people, and so hopefully we could go ahead and do that again. So today we're going to be doing just the 3 slot weapons. We're going to be ranking them all by God Gun, really good, reliable, meh, no bueno, and just please do not use this. We were going to do all weapons, but then we realized this video would take a very long time because there's a shit ton of variables in this game, or variants I should say. So we're gonna kind of put a little pace to this one and we're gonna run through. So they're in alphabetical order and hopefully I'll be able to tell by the pictures what variant it is exactly. That being said, let's go on and do this. So first up, we have the best melee weapon in the entire game, and it is the Bomb Lance. This weapon is a great tool in being able to take out like meatheads one shot if you want the experience. Really good against bosses. It has a decent amount of range, one shots with heavy. If you're gonna go for a melee weapon, this is what you're gonna want. Alright, next up we have our first shotgun, the Caldwell double barrel Rival 78. Personally, I know a lot of people like this. One of my subscribers of mine will be pretty upset that I'm not gonna put this in the please do not use, but it's no bueno. I just find the consistency is a big problem. Every time I use it, it comes down to me just saying like that should have killed. Next up we have the Crossbows. I'll start with the basic one. This comes down to like a preference and a playstyle thing. I like the crossbow, but I'm not the biggest fan. So I could see why someone would put it in really good. I'm gonna put it in reliable. I like it. It's silent. It's nice. So the first variant we're gonna do is I believe this is the explosive one. It's super cheesy. I mean, I understand why Hunt doesn't want to have what is essentially a noob tube in the game, so it doesn't one shot, even if the person that you're shooting at doesn't have bulwark. You could go into like duos or even trios and just all run it, and then just like absolutely pound someone down with it. In my opinion, it's no bueno to meh. It's somewhere in between here. I personally am going to put it in no bueno. If you guys like it, it's kind of a meme gun. If you guys have fun with it, I see why meh would, apply. I'm personally going to put it right above the Caldwell. Next up, we have the Crossbow shot bolt. It has a special kind of ammunition that it shoots through walls, similar to like a shotgun. So you can wall bang with it. It's essentially the crossbow, except a little less range, I believe, and more damage. These are kind of interchangeable, whichever one you prefer. Go for it. Next up, we have the most expensive shotgun in the game. It is the Crowning King. This is a weird one because its damage range definitely kind of holds it back from being God Gun territory. But I definitely think having a fast-firing semi-auto shotgun feels kind of good, especially when you get in these close range combats within compounds. It's pretty nutty. It's not my favorite shotgun. Maybe it's the best shotgun, but it's not my favorite shotgun. I'm gonna put in really good right ahead of the Bomb Lance for now, and yeah. Alright, next up we're going to our first rifle, and we have a ton more of them to go. So this is the Lebel. It's a long ammo. It does 146, I believe, and it has the highest muzzle velocity in the entire game. I find this is it kind of goes hand in hand with the Mosin, where it kind of comes down to preference with which you like more. So the reload time is abysmally slow, and there's no stripper clip to kind of make up for that. So I'm going to keep the Lebel, the base Lebel, I'm going to keep it at the very bottom of really good. Next up, we have the Lebel Marksman. Now this is kind of this gun is always going to be compared to the Mosin because you unlock them at similar times. You get the Lebel a little earlier, and they do similar things. Personally, I much prefer the Marksman scope in this game. I find the sniper is a little too much. So I actually really like the Lebel Marksman, and I'm going to throw this in the God Gun territory. This is our first. Won't be our last, but it is our first. So the last of the Lebels, we have the Lebel Talon. What do I think of it? I had to put it ahead of the normal Lebel because it's literally just the Lebel with an added feature. If you are like hunkered down in a compound and you're getting rushed, you can just like chill in a corner and just whack someone over the head with it, and it works. So I mean, hey, it works. Alright, next up we have one of the newer-ish kind of weapons. It's the Martini-Henry Iec 1, or 1C, I just call it the EC. This is a very good, somewhat early unlock. I think you get in the early 30s where you unlock it. It's good. It kind of bridges the gap between the Sparks and the other long ammo rifles in the game. I think it's good. I'm not a huge fan of the iron sights personally, but that is a, you know, person-to-person thing. So I'm going to keep it in the reliable. Maybe I'll put it behind the crossbows. Alright, next up we have the Deadeye. I really like the Deadeyes. I'm going to put it just a touch ahead of the normal Henry. And then we have the Marksman, which I really, really like, and I think that goes in really good. With that being said, we have one that covers quite a bit of use. It's the Henry Riposte. It has a very, very long melee range with the sword attachment on the bottom, but I think it's really good. I think it kind of serves this like jack of all, master of none sort of role, and I actually think it goes just a little bit ahead of the Marksman. Okay, moving on, we have the Mosin, which is the Lebel's, like, you know, sister gun. It's one that always gets compared the most. I like the faster reload, especially with the stripper clip, but the 5 bullet capacity kind of leaves something to be desired. Also, I just prefer the Lebel for like the muzzle velocity, so I think the Mosin goes right behind the Lebel, personally. However, the Mosin bayonet is the best melee variant of a gun, if you follow what I'm saying, in the game. I think it's better than all of these guns. Voice crack, Jesus. I think it's better than all these guns, and I actually just taking a quick look over my list. I think the bomb lance is gonna slide just a little. Yeah, it's just gonna slide down a little bit. Next up we have the Mosin Sniper. As I mentioned when I was talking about the Marksman, I'm not a huge fan of the snipers in this game. So I actually think this thing, for me, like, I understand a lot of you guys probably really, really like this gun. Again, my opinion, I'm putting in the meh just because I'm bad with them, and so I personally really don't like the gun. Next up, we have a probably the most controversial gun in the game, the Aftermath. You either love it or you hate it. It definitely feels really unfun to die to, you know? If you get shot with a bomb lance, you're like, okay, the guy kind of deserves it, you know, you shot with the bomb lance. The Aftermath up close feels like it's a god gun, but now, especially after this rework where it's the 3-round burst, it's even harder to control. Mid to long range is even harder to pull anything off. I think the gun is a bit of a noob trap, to be honest. I can't justify the price either. I think it's one of these two. I know I'm gonna have people like yelling in the comments. You just don't use this unless you're like really like balling like that. You got like $20,000 in the bank, you know. You're about a prestige. You don't really care what happens. Why not go for it? I really don't like this thing personally. And that's gonna segue into another controversial decision. The Nagant Carbine. So this thing is, it depends. It really depends. And so pre-small ammo buff, I would say is probably somewhere, you know, it's like a reliable head clicker, you know. You can get some really nasty headshots because of the, you know, 0 recoil, the like really good accuracy, and in my opinion, the best iron sights in the game. However, post small ammo buff, I think this is very, very low-key one of the best guns in the game. And now I'm really hating how these are formatted, or like what order these are in, because we have another controversial one, and I'm just gonna like skip to the chase here. This thing is garbage. The Nitro Express, no, it's bottom of no bueno. The Nitro Express is, again, another noob bait gun, in my opinion. I think, obviously, if it didn't have the aperture sight, it would be one of the best guns in the game. However, it has the aperture sight. For the amount the gun costs, I just think it's not worth learning. and so I just relegate it as a really, really, really expensive shotgun. And it's like, at that point, like, for half the price you can just get a Crowning King, you know? So why even bother with this thing? You can pull off some really nasty shots if people are standing still, but then again, if they're standing still, you can kill them with any gun here or down below. On top of that, it takes the special ammo, which is just a pain in the ass. Okay, I'm gonna swap them actually. Boop, there you go. This is the worst gun so far. I genuinely, with a serious face, believe the Nagant Carbine is levels better than the Aftermath, yeah, and the Nitro. You will never catch me dead using these two guns. That being said, we have another it's not controversial. It's just I have an affinity for it. If you guys have seen my videos, you know I really like this gun. We have the Romero 77. I think it's the most consistent shotgun in the game. It really sucks that it's single bore, but obviously, you know, it's the first shotgun you get. I think you get a level 1 or a level 2. But if you get used to it, it's the king of reliable. This gun will, unlike the Caldwell, which feels like the least consistent gun in the game, this is like the complete opposite side of the coin. This thing, if you hit them, they're going down, great range, I love it. Then we have the Romero Talon. It's the Romero, except that has another function, so throw it in there. Next up, we have the Sparks, the OG Sniper. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I think that's a good spot for it. This I love. Silenced Sparks. So I'm just gonna slide it in right here. Next up, we have the Spark Sniper. So the Specter is the poor man's Crowning King. I think it's good. I think it kind of has a bit of like the Caldwell in it, where it feels super inconsistent. Personally, I think it's a bit better than the snipers, but again, these two is a super controversial pick because I know a lot of people love them. This is just my list. Then we have the Specter bayonet. It's the same thing, except you have a bayonet. Now we have the Springfield. I find the Springfield like super interesting. One, because it has all the cool like medium slot variants, which we'll be doing in another video very soon. We're gonna be doing the small and the mediums together. I really like this Springfield. I just thought it was a really cool update that Hunt did to include a like a low rank sniper, essentially. Just that it kind of encompasses for everyone's playstyle. So while I'm not going to be rolling with it too often, I think it's good. I think it goes down there. And we're going to put the scoped variant right ahead of the base one. Next up, we have the Vetterlies. I love the Vetterlies personally. This is my favorite budget rifle in the entire game. I'll take this over the Martini. I'll take this over the Springfield. I'll take this over the Sparks. Also, I really like the Deadeyes. So I love the Vetterli. The base one, we're going to put it in the reliable, right ahead of the Crossbows. The Vetterli bayonet, I'm going to put at the bottom of really good. I think I still like the Bomb Lance a little bit more. I love the Bomb Lance uppercut class, personally. However, the Deadeye Vetterli, I'm going to be putting right behind the like A tier rifles, being the Lebel and the Mosin. Alright, so lastly we have the many Winnies. We're gonna start with the Winnie C's. This is the starter weapon. It's essentially the same thing as like the original Mark Winnies, except these have much more ammo in them. It's a 16 round capacity. These only have 8. Other than that, they have all the same stats, same damage, same range, same everything. I think they're, with the small ammo buff that came in, I think they're very good. But there are a few exceptions. So let's do with these the Winnie C's first. So the very first gun you get in the game, I think it's meh. I think it's just like visually, no, I have to put them behind the snipers. Even myself, I have to put it behind the snipers. The Winnie Marksman is pretty good. I think I'm gonna put it in the bottom of reliable, just behind the Springfield. No, I'm gonna put it ahead of the Springfields. I actually think it's pretty good. And the silenced Winnie C, I really like. I'm gonna put it all the way ahead of the Crossbows, right in there. Alright, so now we get into the final weapon in the game and its variant, the original Winfield. 16 bullets, you can put levering on it. Some people would go as far as to say it's a little OP right now, especially for the very cost efficient nature of the gun. The base Winnie is going to go at the top of reliable. It's your go-to gun in the game. It's just there's not too many downsides of the gun. However, this next version of it, there's a very big downside. It's the aperture Winfield. This thing is, in my opinion, the worst gun in the game because it has the terrible, terrible sight of the Nitro Express with none of the power, range, or like devastation of the Nitro Express. Next up, we have the Winnie Swift. This thing is very good. 16 shots, shoots quickly, you can put late levering on it, and you have the speed loader for very, very quick reloads, putting in 8 bullets at a time. This thing's really good. I'm gonna put it ahead of the Martinis, but below my baby, the Deadeye Vetterli. I think this thing is really, really good. Now lastly, we have our final weapon. It's the Winfield Talon, where it's essentially just a Winnie with another function, like I've said for all the other Talons in this game. So it's gonna go right there. And yeah, let's have a last second look at our list. Alright, so looking back, I think I was a little hard on the Specters. I'm still not a huge fan of them, but I think they deserve to be above the Springfields. And so yeah, I'm actually going to put them in here, and I think I'm actually going to demote the bayonet just a bit behind the base Specter, because you actually lose a bit of damage, and I think also a bit of range with the slightly sawed off barrel, which just makes it like even more inconsistent. And I think I'm actually going to demote the Springfields just a bit. Alright, what do I think of this list? I think it's pretty accurate with my own tastes. Now, of course, everyone has a different opinion, and if you guys would love to, you know, make your own videos, I'll check them out, post them on the Reddit, you know, maybe comment down below, send me a link, I'll check them out. I love seeing other people's opinions. I hope you guys enjoyed watching mine. Don't be too mad if I, you know, desecrated your Aftermath or your Nitro. This is just my list. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. As always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you disagree with anything, just leave a comment below. Just, you know, let's hash it out. Let's see what you think. As always, I'll see you on the next one. We'll be doing medium and small ammo soon. And yeah, so stick around. Ciao.